Hi, Samantha Mumba.
Samantha Tamania Anne Cecilia Mumba is an Irish Grammy-nominated singer-songwriter, dancer, actress, fashion model, and TV presenter. In 2000, at the age of 17, she shot to fame with the release of her runaway debut single, which reached the top 5 in Ireland, the UK and the US. With the desire to pursue ventures outside of music, Samantha has only ever released one official solo album to date. But with plans to continue her musical journey, let's take a look back at her singles, performances, and that fantastic debut era. This is everything I've got to tell you about Samantha Mumba.
Isn't it strange? Our life is so real.
Samantha Mumba was born in Dublin, Ireland. Her father is from Zambia and was formerly an aircraft engineer. Her mother is Irish.
So what made you want to be a star? When did it start?
I started performing, I think it was probably my first TV show. I did that when I was 4. And I got all, I think Sunita was on it. It was like a Late Late, you know the Late Late show at home?
Yeah.
Like the Late Late fashion show or toy show or something. I think it was the fashion show. And I was there and Sunita took me into her dressing room and I just got all wrapped up in the whole glamour of it all and performing to an audience and all the cameras and lights. I loved the whole thing. Plus it was a day off school. So kind of from then, I loved the whole idea of it.
Now, let's take it back to where it all started for you. It was Louis Walsh who discovered you on an Irish TV talent show?
Yes.
Yeah? How was that?
Madly enough. I mean, kind of, it was a couple of different things and ended up bumping into him, one night. And I was with my mum and they swapped numbers and all of a sudden then I was flying over to London and got my publishing deal, my record deal. It's mad even talking about it.
It was quite fast at the time.
I suppose looking back, yeah, kind of going from being in school and doing little theatre shows or whatever to all of a sudden flying over to London and meeting with labels and yeah, mad.
Music executive Louis Walsh, former manager of both Boyzone and Westlife, was so impressed by Samantha's talent and enthusiasm that she was swiftly signed to Polydor Records.
So once I kind of established my management, I actually got my publishing deal before I got a record deal. So which is the best thing, smartest thing that could have happened at all, so that was great. So then I got my record deal and it was then that it was, even writing was kind of very much so a new thing for me. It was always me just writing down feelings and thoughts and poems or, whatever. And I think that's why even listening to my old albums, sometimes it feels like I'm listening to a diary of when I was that age because, that's where I was at. So, it was a pretty quick thing. Once kind of things started taking off, it was, because I was in school as well. So once I signed my deal, I was like, I'm out of here. I just didn't have time to stay in school. Either way, that was the choice. And thankfully, my parents didn't fight me on that. And so all of a sudden, then I was just in Sweden and Norway, writing and recording. And yeah, it was great, really.
And even the writing part, I think that's amazing that you had got the publishing deal before the record deal, because a lot of people don't understand your publishing, all the royalties, all that stuff has to be intact if you are an artist.
Yes.
That's one of the main things.
It's just crucial. And, I have to be honest, even at that age, because I didn't write everything on the album, but there was instantly a disconnect for me when I'd be in the booth, after being handed a sheet of lyrics to sing, when I didn't have that connect. I hadn't put that time in. I hadn't put my stamp on it, my flair on it. It was a disconnect for me to record that. So, I think even aside from, obviously the number one reason business-wise, it's just the smart thing. It's the right thing to do. If you have a passion for writing, there's some incredible, humongous singers out there have never written a song in their lives, but just for me, there's a disconnect when I don't have that connection to the lyrics, I suppose.
On the 2nd of June 2000, Samantha Mumba's debut single, Gotta Tell You, was released. The song was co-written by Samantha along with Swedish production team Bag & Arnthor. Gotta Tell You became an international hit, peaking at number 1 in Ireland and New Zealand, number 2 in the UK, and number 3 in Australia. In the US, it reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, spending 22 weeks on the charts.
Your debut single, Gotta Tell Ya, was released in 2000 and became an instant success, scoring you a number 2 in the UK. How did that feel?
Absolutely amazing. And actually, I do have to say, I remember kind of the first week of doing promo, and you know, like, you don't know, has anybody even ever heard your song? And I remember being in the car and getting a call from the label and them saying, like, in the midweeks, you're number 2. I think it was between me and Eminem, and it was kind of going back and forth between the two. Yeah, and I was just like, oh my God, I think we'd sold like 16,000 or something, and I was just driving around like, that many people in this city have bought my song, like mad, absolutely mad.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
Up against Eminem,
exciting.
that's quite cool as well,
and
isn't
he beat
it?
me, but I mean, fair
Being
enough.
beaten by Eminem.
If I'm going to be beaten by somebody, fine.
It's fine, let him take it. Now, it was a number 4 hit on the Billboard chart in America. That is a huge achievement. Even some of the biggest artists like Kylie and Robbie Williams struggled to score hits over there. So did you feel unstoppable at the time? You were doing well in the UK, America was loving you.
It's kind of mad. And honestly, when you're kind of in the middle of it and doing everything, I didn't even really realise or notice, because you're just working so much. So it's more kind of now that I kind of sit back and I'm like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. It's something cool to tell my grandkids or, you know, whatever.
My biorhythm's jumping, got my circulation pumping.
On the 16th of October, Body to Body became the second single released from the album. The track sampled the massive 1980 David Bowie hit, Ashes to Ashes.
Ashes to ash and funk to funk it. We know Major Tom's a junkie, strung out in heaven's high, hitting an all-time low.
Body to Body would reach number 2 in Ireland and Belgium, number 5 in the UK, number 7 in Scotland, and number 14 in Australia. With 2 hit singles under their belts, Polydor Records released Samantha's debut album, also entitled Gotta Tell You, on the 31st of October 2000. The original album cover featured a darkly lit sepia shot of Samantha's face. A&M Records president Ron Fair made the decision to release the album in the US with a new cover, which had Samantha positioned in front of a bright, colourful yellow palette, as he wanted it to be bolder and to express Samantha's true personality. It was released in the US on the 27th of March 2001. The album would be reissued outside of the US too, incorporating 2 re-recorded songs, Baby, Come On Over, This Is Our Night, and The Boy, while 2 songs were removed. The reissue was released internationally on the 17th of September 2001. The album would peak at number 4 in Samantha's native island, number 8 in Australia, and number 9 in the UK. The album would peak at number 67 on the US Billboard 200 chart. In the UK, the album would eventually be certified gold and sell around 4 million copies worldwide.
Oh, body to body, funky to funky, we know how to rock your party. Struck out another line, making an all-time flow.
Now, whilst in America, you must have got to perform on some of the biggest shows. So what was that like?
Amazing. I'm trying to think in the States. Well, I got to open for NSYNC. Actually, I toured with them around America. So that was like 90,000 people at each show. So that was a big highlight.
Did you get to hang out with the boys from NSYNC?
Not too much, a little bit, but they would do stuff, like they'd hire out a movie theatre or whatever for everybody to go to and stuff like that. But yeah, otherwise we were on our own tour bus. It was me, my dancers, my family.
Just getting on with it,
yeah,
enjoying it.
Yeah.
How old were you when you were on tour with NSYNC?
I would have been 17.
Wow.
17.
And what's the worst record you've ever made?
I'm very proud of all my records, but I tell you, the worst video was always Come Back to Your Love. I cringe a shocking amount when I see that. It's disgraceful.
What
it's
video?
horrible. It was my Always Come Back to Your Love video. It was just a nightmare from day one, basically. I hate it.
Why?
Hate it. Hate the makeup, hate the hair, hate the styling, hate the whole idea, the whole concept.
No one over there guilty?
No, it's not. It's not. No, it's not them. Bless them. It's not. I was in. I tell you what it was. It was shot in America. It was coming up to Christmas. I was absolutely exhausted. Just wanted to go home. I was at that stage where I was ready for a break. It was a 1-day shoot. The director was too busy eyeing up the stylist assistant because she'd fake boobs on her or whatever, than even directing the video. And it was just, I got really, really worked up that. It was just, I hated everything about it.
The 19th of February 2001 saw the release of the 3rd official single, Always Come Back to Your Love. The song was written by Helge Rustan and producers Stargate, who recorded it at the producer's Norwegian studio. Always Come Back to Your Love was Samantha's 2nd and final song to top the Irish singles chart, where it peaked at number 1. It also peaked in the top 5 in the UK, reaching number 3, as well as number 3 in Scotland. However, the song stalled outside the top 40 in Australia and New Zealand. Don't Need You to Tell Me I'm Pretty was released exclusively in the US as Samantha's 2nd single and as the 4th overall single to be lifted off her debut album on the 4th of September 2001. Don't Need You to Tell Me I'm Pretty was also the official second single to be released from the original motion picture soundtrack to the movie Legally Blonde. The song peaked at number 20 on the US Billboard Hot Singles sales chart. Baby Come On Over, This Is Our Night, released outside the US as simply Baby Come On Over, was written by Samantha, again with writers and producers Bag and Arthur. It was released by A&M Records as the album's third single in the US and by Wildcard and Polydor Records as the fourth single internationally. The remixed version of the track contains a sample of Kool and the Gang's 1979 song Ladies' Night. The song peaked at number 2 on the Irish singles chart, number 2 in Belgium, number 5 in the UK, number 6 in Scotland, and at number 49 on the US Billboard Hot 100. An accompanying music video was directed by Korean-American director Joseph Kahn. The track also saw Samantha become one of only 5 Irish acts to be nominated for a Grammy Award.
You say that you want me again and again. You say that you need me to be more than just your friend. So I thought about it, and maybe you're right. I've been checking your records, and they seem alright. Baby, come on over tonight. We can make it alright. Take a piece of my heart and go from the start. Baby, come on over tonight. We can make it alright. Boy, there's no one like you. Do you feel it too? So when we get together, if just for a while, let's make it happen. Don't waste any time. And now I need to find out what you're about. So come over tonight. Let's sort this out. Baby, come on over tonight. We can make it alright. Take a piece of my heart and go from the start. Baby, come on over tonight. We can make it alright. Boy, there's no one like you. Do you feel it too? Baby, come on over tonight. We can make it alright. Take a piece of my heart and go from the start. Baby, come on over tonight. We can make it alright. Boy, there's no one like you. Do you feel it too?
So if you had to choose one of your own songs as your most favourite, what would it be?
I would say Lately. That was the last single. I mean, it was very, very different to what I did, totally different tempo. But I mean, I just thought it was a beautiful song that I love.
Lately is a song by American R&B group Divine. The song was released as the group's debut single in August of 1998 and peaked at number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100. The track was eventually released to international markets, but it failed to make as big of an impact as it did in the US.
Just sitting away, watching the days go by.
Lately would become the 5th and final single from Gotta Tell You internationally and the 6th single overall. Released on the 10th of December 2001, Lately peaked at number 3 in Ireland and number 6 on the UK singles chart.
Blowing it apart as you're spinning like a merry-go-round. Indications of a storm touching ground. I wish that I could weather any storm, but I guess it was a heartbreak from the norm. Was a day I will always remember, the saddest day in sweet November.
And thinking about you, babe,
And everything you do,
just sitting away,
I did a piece in People magazine in America, and the casting agent for the movie had seen this piece, whatever, thought I fitted the part of what they were looking for, and got in touch with my management, I suppose. And then one day I was handed a script, and it was like, you're not going to get it. It's really just to meet casting agents and the whole lot. So I wasn't particularly fussed over it. I'm almost embarrassed now to say that I didn't, when I went to do the screen test, didn't really give it everything. I was more excited about flying home than anything else, because it was like, look, I'm not going to get it anyway. Thanks, but I did it.
Maybe that's how it works then.
I know, did it and forgot about it.
There's a fair attitude.
Yeah, totally.
It just all comes to you.
Yeah, so I forgot about it, and then a couple of weeks later I got another phone call asking me to fly back over to New York to do a screen test with Guy Pearce. So then I thought, oh my God, they're calling back. So did that, and then at about like 3:30 in the morning, a few weeks after that again, I got a phone call saying I'd got the role.
And what's the movie?
The Time Machine. It's the remake of the H.G. Wells.
And that's coming out when?
That's out here 15th of March, I think. Right.
And what's your role?
Lead female.
And what does that involve?
She's her name is Mara. I play a character that's 800,000 years in the future. She's very strong. All her family has died. It's just herself and her little brother, who's also my brother in real life. And she's a very, very strong character. But it was
like
great
yourself.
to play. Ish, yeah. She was way stronger than I am. Yeah, but she held it together.
And you're working with Spielberg, someone told me.
It's a DreamWorks movie, so Spielberg was on and off. He didn't direct. It's actually H.G. Wells' great-grandson that directed the movie, Simon Wells. But it was a wonderful experience, just the whole thing, really.
Is that something you'd like to do more of?
Most definitely. I've gotten the bug now.
Where do you come from?
I'm from the past.
I wonder if we'll ever go too far.
With what?
With this, with all of this.
No such thing.
Why have you traveled through time?
To have a question answered. Why can't one change the past?
Why would you want to? You lost someone you loved very much. You should go back to your own time.
Why?
There are things better left not said.
Tell me what's happening here.
And if the truth will haunt your dreams for all time.
Well, I think I'm used to that. This was not supposed to happen. They're human beings.
I can look inside your memories, your dreams, your nightmares.
We'll have to fight.
At the Teen Choice Awards 2002, Samantha was nominated for Choice Movie Best Breakout Artist for her role in The Time Machine.
Now, a song from the latest Disney in-concert special by Samantha Mumba.
I wanna know, can you come back by? And the way I'm feeling makes me wanna get down in. Ooh, look at you bling blingin'. Ooh, you got me feeling. Ooh, inside I'm screaming. Ooh, more. My kind of guy. You should be my man. I want you to be my guy. I need you here with me. I love the way you are. I love the way you talk. Yeah, come on. Okay, come on, let's do it. Come on, I remember. Take it away, boy.
Take off your song, boy, melt. A hit, boy, make you feel like you never felt. I know it's your job, we're working these late nights. I know you miss a good fun in the Philippines, but I'm a boy and I gotta say I'm a job. Yeah, talk. You want a fish man, no slug. You want a lay up, don't you? No job. You want to eat the streets, huh?
Watch Samantha Mumba on the Disney special Aaron Carter and Samantha Mumba in concert. Only on Disney.
Make a list and send it to the North Pole for St. Nick.
An EP entitled Samantha Sings Christmas was released at the end of 2001, which included covers of White Christmas and All I Want for Christmas Is You. Samantha Sings Christmas was also released as a bonus disc on some editions of Gotta Tell You.
Scottish. She's Irish, but you know, that's not bad. That'll do. Seriously, I asked her if she'd sing the song with me. So tonight, for the first time, as a duet to Sew With Love, guess who's going to join me? Samantha Mumba.
Those schoolgirl days of telling tales and biting nails are gone. But in my mind, I know they still will live on and on.
But how do you thank someone who has taken you from crayons to perfume? It isn't easy, but I'll try.
If you wanted the sky, I would ride across the sky in letters that would soar 1,000 feet high to serve with
On the 12th of August 2002, Samantha was back with a new single and a new sound. The track, entitled I'm Right Here, had more of an Americanized sound and would eventually peak at number 3 in Ireland and number 5 in the UK. However, it was much less successful in the US, having only been issued to radio with no physical release.
Now I know what I need, so I shall just speak my dream guy into real life with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm looking for a guy to play the lead in my life.
Rumours began to circulate that Samantha was getting ready to release a second album, entitled Woman, and that due to the poor reception of the lead single I'm Right Here in the US and a short-lived time on the UK chart, she was dropped from her label. However, Samantha later confirmed she was unable to release any new material due to contractual restrictions following the restructure of Polydor Records, which resulted in her being dropped.
Want a guy who is style, beautiful smile, wears that cologne that drives women wild. Takes more than just looks to get me shook. If he captures my mind, he'll have me hooked. Want a guy with intelligence, a perfect gentleman, to be more than a lover, be more than my man. A guy who could be my best friend. I'm looking for a guy to play the lead.
In October 2006, a compilation album entitled The Collection was released. The album featured songs from Gotta Tell You, B-sides, and 2 new songs, including her single I'm Right Here.
A brand new single, I'm Right Here, from your second album was released and was another top 5 smash for you here in the UK. But the record label saw it as a failure. I don't really see a top 5 as a failure.
You know what? It actually wasn't so much that. It was just around the time, I suppose, when a lot of the labels were merging. Right. So I kind of was stuck in my deal a little bit, trying to figure out a sound. So that song did very well, but we just weren't able to get it together to finish the actual album. So I was kind of locked in my deal. I couldn't release stuff, but I couldn't go anywhere else. So that's part of the industry, you know? It kind of happens, yeah, I know.
That's sad.
I know, Debbie Downer here.
Yeah, well, sadly, that was the last single you released. We never got the second album. Do you think you were treated badly or
no,
just
not
left
at
in the
all?
dark, maybe?
I mean, it's a business, and honestly, it's good. You know, I'm kind of evolving my sound and writing and all of that now, which is kind of a nice position to be in. So it's just it's one of those things that kind of comes and goes in waves.
When you go away from doing music or something that you're very passionate about, and I'm glad that you're so passionate, you're very focused on, wanting to do music again, but people don't understand how fighting to get out of a label is so discouraging because it's exhausting as hell. Yeah. On top of that, women shouldn't have to put such a fight when they are really passionate about what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it's a valid point because a lot of people to this day have been confused, but everything was going so well, why did you stop or what happened? And that's the thing, it's an industry, it's a business. And I wasn't the only casualty. There were a ton of artists that got caught in that merging. to where my core team, you know, my A&R, everybody that I had done everything with were moved around. Some lost their jobs, you know. But to be completely honest, at the time, I was grateful for the break. You know, I bought my house in Ireland. I was able to not be living out of a suitcase for once. I was able to, you know, hang out with my friends, have parties, like just live a little bit. And I really needed that because I'd been in such a work bubble. You know, I think certainly as a new artist, you hope for the best, but I didn't necessarily expect things to take off quite as quickly as they did or as many things happen as they did. So, you know, at that point, I was so ready just to feel like myself and just have that little break. So it's not even a case that I was like fighting and like wanting to get out of the deal. I was like, okay, cool. Like we'll get to it when we get to it, you know? And then as time went on, it was like, oh, I am stuck in this deal and I can't release music. So that was a little bit of a weird thing. But then it was like, okay, I'll go do some movies. So I did some movies and, you know, and then I moved to LA and finally then eventually getting out of the deal. I think I was probably not even disheartened. I think I just really had seen the industry for what it is. And it is a business, you know,
Right.
and that's how you should always look at it. But I was so young coming into it that I feel like, you know, I signed my deal at 15. So I think, you know, half of the people in the label I considered friends and family. And, you know, when all of that's gone, it's kind of like, oh. So I just wasn't sure if that was even something that I still wanted to pursue. You know, for a long time, I was kind of very okay with leaving that at kind of what it had been and what it was, you know.
I need love to ease my mind. I need to find someone to call mine. But Mama said.
In 2008, Samantha would take part in the hit ITV show Dancing on Ice. Samantha would impress the judges, but sadly was eliminated from the competition in its third week. Later in 2008, the All Around the World label released Mickey Modell vs Samantha Mumba, a dance remix of Gotta Tell You. After Samantha heard the initial remix, she liked the song and re-recorded some of the vocals for it. She promoted the song on the Clubland live tour in 2008.
Like never before. Your love for me, something I didn't say, but baby, I know better now. When you walked in the room that very night, a special feeling just burst inside. It was only you, nobody else, but baby, I know better now. Don't wanna love you if you don't love me. Don't wanna need you when you won't need me to. Don't wanna tell you this now, but it wouldn't be right if I didn't tell you this tonight. Don't love me. Don't wanna need you when you won't need me to. Don't wanna tell you this now, but it wouldn't be right if I didn't tell you this tonight. Close was the question, and the answer is the.
Stay in the Middle was a pop ballad by Hill featuring Samantha Mumba. The track was co-written by the pair for Hill's debut album.
And it's not about the winning, it's not about the prize, it's finding out the meaning of the laughter and the cries. I wish I'd mind, I read the signs, make the most of time. Stay in the middle, don't get pushed to the side. Every chance that's worth taking is a chance worth the fight. Stay in.
On the 16th of August 2013, Samantha appeared on the RTE television show The Hit to compete for a spot in the show's final. The TV show saw songwriters showcasing their songs to established artists. The artists then battle one another to find the perfect song that they can turn into a hit. The song selected for chart battle was Somebody Like Me, which was released on iTunes immediately afterwards. The song peaked at number 5 on the Irish singles chart, marking Samantha's first hit in 11 years.
The wine helps grow your self-doubt, and you're trying so hard, but your light is out. It's Never easy to see what they see when you're blinded by yourself and what you used to be. Why you wanna go and make love with somebody? Why you wanna go and make love with somebody? Why you wanna go and make love with somebody? Why you wanna go and make love with somebody like me? With somebody like me? With somebody like me? With somebody like me.
Can you tell us about your new single?
New single, yes, I wrote it about a year ago, and kind of just starting to get back writing and recording, and when I decided to release a song, I thought this was kind of a good reintroduction, only just begun. So yeah, it's
and you're going independent, of course. Is that exciting and scary at the same time?
Yeah, exactly, both.
In February 2014, Samantha would drop a one-off single, Only Just Begun. She would speak about new songs and a potential new album, however sadly this never materialised.
Like, you've been really working on this project for like the last 2-3 years, like that, and just really just focusing on it.
Yeah.
Just figure out your sound.
Yeah, no, I have. And I can't lie. Like, that's the really fun part for me, is when it's my little secret almost, you know, because obviously if I'm doing the music, I'm writing, and I have a great team that I work with, and we have so much fun creating, that this is kind of the part that stresses me out a little bit, because then you have to put it out to the world for consumption, and you know, then it's judged, and is it good, is it bad? And when it's kind of just your own creative outlet and you're getting to do just what you love with no, you know, none of that stress, it's so fun, it's great. But I'm really, really appreciative. The feedback has been so positive from everybody so far. And even just deciding on what the first single was going to be has been so hard for me, you know, because it isn't actually indicative of the rest of the record, you know. But it was a vibe, and I love the vibe, and I felt it and wanted to put it out. So, yeah, just figuring this all out as I go along, truly.
Now, 6 years on since her last single, the 27th of November 2020 saw Samantha return to music with the single Cool, the lead track from her then upcoming album, which she described as sexy, different and more adult.
Waste as we make love, whisper in your ear and tell you everything I like. We gon' be here for a minute, baby, spend it twice and another time. Cause when you're inside, that beat go right, go right, go right, ay, 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 go right, go right, go right. Please don't get left out. I hate that shit so right, go right, go right, ay, 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 ay. You're so cool, you make me cool. You're so cool, a whole mood. You're so cool, you make me cool. You're so cool, a whole mood. You're so cool, you make me cool.
So yes, you know, obviously releasing Cool is amazing. And then I also went and released another single called Process, which just personally means a lot to me. It has a lot of personal meaning. It's a very different vibe to Cool. But I just felt like it very much so sums up this year and what this year has been. And if I didn't release it now, it just wouldn't have been a single. So yeah, look, giving options and putting some different content out there, for sure.
A follow-up track, Process, swiftly followed in December that same year.
Let me tell you now. It gets better somehow. When your life is overwhelmed with doubt, know there's always gonna be a way out. If you're having problems and you need to solve them, let me just dissolve them for you.
then the album is coming out top of the quarter, right?
Yes, the album is going to be out at not the top of the quarter. It's going to be probably like April, May. So I don't have a set date on that yet. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's there, it's ready. So it's really just about me getting it together and getting my head around it. And, you know, but I have a lot of things that I want to do, and I want to have as much visual content. And, you know, I really just want to make it as big for myself as I can, you know, in my own world and whatever that is. So lots planned for 2021, I must say.
I'm ready.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Let me just dissolve them for you.
Album is on the way. To be completely honest, initially I was really toying around with the idea I was going to drop an EP first. But kind of that seems to be the theme, like, you've been gone for so long, what took you so long? So I kind of like, no, let me, you know, just go ahead and do the album. So I actually have a few little surprises up my sleeve, but definitely next year the album is pretty much almost done already.
What's the kind of vibe of the album? Can you tell us?
The vibe, it's hard to explain because, you know, I suppose because I co-wrote a lot of my stuff when I was younger as well. And that was kind of, even when I listen to those songs now, it's kind of like reading an old diary of when I was 15, you know, and because that was just where I was at now. So it's the same thing. This is just where I'm at now. You know, I'm an adult, I'm a woman, I'm a wife, a mother. And so this is, I would say this is a little bit more of a sexier vibe, a little bit more fun. I'm kind of playing around with that a little bit more, but there's a varied variety.
With this project and stuff like that, what are some of your favorite records that are on the album that you are looking forward to people hearing?
Ooh, I have, well, I mean, I love all of the songs so far, but a personal favorite, and please stay tuned. I don't know if it's going to be a single, but I'm 1,000,000% going to do a visual for it anyway. And it's called Pink Lemonade. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. I love it. Love it. Very, very grown, but I love it. So yes, please keep a lookout for that for sure.
However, as of early 2022, there is still no update on a new album or any further single releases. I gotta tell you, I think it's a massive shame that to date we only have one official album release from Samantha Mumba. Her debut era was incredibly successful and her time as a pop star was cut way too short. Here's hoping we see more music and finally the release of that second studio album in 2022. Thanks for watching.
Somebody had actually tweeted me talking about a girl group, and that should be me, Billie Piper, Rachel Stevens.
Perfect already.
There was somebody else. It was hilarious though.
That sounds like my kind of girl band.
I do love a bit of Billie Piper.